three, two, one, one, two, three, two, one.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Peat Podcast. I'm your host, Nat, and welcoming my co-host, Gino. Say what's up, Gino.
Hello, how y'all doing?
And welcoming AJ, the other co-host. What's up, AJ?
What's up, Nat?
What's
Gino, what's good? Glad to be here.
Absolutely, y'all. So we are going to go ahead and get started and kick it off with some of the hot topics and the hot news today in the NBA. Ja Morant. Yeah, so Ja Morant, guys. As you know, Ja Morant was in Denver, and he gets caught, on live, with a firearm, and let's talk about Ja. Where's this guy going? What's he doing? What's in his mind? What's going on? He's one of the better, players in the NBA. Obviously he's one of the best point guards in the league. Having a really good season, but it just seems like he's working backwards almost. It just seems like he's just mixed in with the wrong crowd, and he's just not focused. And it sometimes it seems like that on the floor with the team, and then it seems like that's what's going on behind the scenes. So there's a lot of lack of focus going on with, I think Ja Morant and Memphis in general. But let's kick it to AJ. What do you think about the Ja Morant situation?
It's kind of an unfortunate situation. I think for someone with his talent, and like I feel like how you said, like he's on his way up. He just got a shoe deal. He he's becoming this marketable person, but like I think I just don't know where his head is at right now. I think it's pretty unfortunate for him as a player, but then to the organization as well, because I mean they're in the playoff hunt. You know what I mean? Like they were having, this is their best year they were having as a, in a while for Memphis. So
Right.
It's also bad for me because he's on my fantasy team. But being serious, like I just, he's young enough to where I hope he gets his act together, because it'd be a shame to lose, his style of play for the game,
Absolutely. I agree 100%. Gino, what you think about this Ja Morant situation?
Yeah, I'm in the same boat. It's mind-boggling with everything, like with him. I know I read something today or yesterday. Him and Steven Adams got into a big altercation about the way he's acting with the team and stuff. Right before all this stuff happened, so everybody knows what's been going on with him. So,
Right.
like I said, it's very sad because I do fantasy basketball. I see what's going on and I see what numbers he's putting up, and he's a role model. For a lot of these kids. I already know that. I coach basketball, and everybody, that's all they talk about is John Curry, and then everybody wants to be like Ja. Everybody wants to be like Curry, but like with him, it just, to me, he's not being guided right. Like he doesn't have that person that's leading him in the right direction. And then a lot of these players go through it. And him being so young, he's just getting those. He's testing the water on everything. But what he just did a couple days ago, it can ruin his career. How many chances are you going to get? You look at what happened with a couple players in the NFL and NBA baseball. How many chances are you going to get before it's done? But
G-
like I said, it's very sad. Because I'm a big time Ja Morant fan, big time. And like AJ said, Memphis is on the rise. They got a great team over there. But for this to happen, I just think it deteriorates that whole
yeah.
team. I don't even know if they're even to make the playoffs now, because if he's suspended for the rest the season, which everybody's saying he is, that they're done. They don't have that other guy. I mean, you have Ty Jones over there, but I mean, he's just a good feeling. That's about it. So
Yeah.
No, so um a little bit funnier. Somebody commented that you look like you're in a scene from The Godfather, Gino.
that's
That was funny.
funny.
I see it now.
My favorite movie, so that's actually awesome.
I thought that was funny as you're talking about something serious. Someone says, "Why do you look like you're doing a scene from The Godfather?" I thought it was funny.
I know, I saw that too. That's funny. Yeah.
With or without, Ja Morant, I did not have Memphis necessarily going to the conference finals. I just think that
Mhm.
they are too young. I think that there's a lot of inexperience and
Yeah.
on the team. And I just think that, the regular season's great, but I think once you get to, the playoffs, it's a different ball game. It's just
No.
different. And, we can talk about Golden State, how, they're not doing as well as you would want. But as you can see, they're right in the thick of it and they're getting
Yeah.
healthy,
Yeah.
and that's a team. They have all the
Yeah.
experience and the maturity. And it's not going to work. Denver's been poised. And so I just think that there's a lot of things that has to go on in Memphis with or without Ja. But
But I just think it stunts the growth of the team because it's like, part of NBA, like the NBA is like, you got to take your lumps before you can move on in the playoffs. Like we haven't seen a team just go from the playoffs and make it to the championship, so
Right.
like he's stopping that progress. So that's just another thing that just, kind of irks me a little bit, but
Memphis is going to continue to go through some growing pains, so.
And another thing is there's only a month left of regular basketball, so what's going to happen, nobody knows. There's a lot of rumors going on, say, 2-game suspension, he's going to be suspended the rest of the year. I mean, but it's only a month left, so yeah. So I don't know, man. It just hurts, man, because like you said, if you love the game of basketball, you don't want to see this kind of stuff at all. So
Well, hopefully they get back to basketball and they buckle down, but we shall see. But we're gonna keep it moving, and let's talk about Sunday. Now, as you know, Sunday there was some great games on Sunday. So the duel between Phoenix and Dallas. This is going to be one of the more fun rivalries, going forward. It's already very fun, but as you know, Kyrie is in Dallas, and then you have KD in Phoenix, and what did you guys think, and I'm going to you, Gino. What did you think of KD in Phoenix and how he's playing and meshing with everybody?
KD, man, he to me, he's a winner, man. Like, no matter where he goes, he's a winner. I mean, he makes that team so much better. Like I said, I think we had talked about this last week or something like that about Phoenix. They were falling apart. They were falling apart. With Booker and Paul and Ayton, because they were supposed to get it done last year. I think they did have the best record last year or something like that. But then, then all of a sudden they get Durant, and now I think they're 3-0 right now with Durant in the lineup. So he just makes that team so much better. Now you got 3 or 4 guys on that team that could average you 20 plus every single night, in and out. So last year, in the playoffs, they just, they depended on too much on Chris Paul. It's supposed to be Booker and Ayton. Now you bring Durant into the mix, it just puts Phoenix on another level. And I mean, if they stay healthy, I think they'll be there to the end, the finals at least, to the Western Conference Finals at least. So.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
let's go, AJ. What do you think?
Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. I mean, I heard someone say, like, you just put KD on any team and he's gonna make it work, and he's I mean, he's a 7-foot assassin, you know what I mean? Like, my boy can shoot, handle, he can do it all.
Everything.
And I just think when I seen that trade, I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he's gonna work on any team,
100%.
And the rivalry that could be brewing with Dallas and Phoenix, that was pretty good. I liked it.
That Luka Booker thing, right?
We need that in
we
today's
do.
game because
it's
it's
too many
just
friends.
Everybody want to be
friends.
friends. Yeah, everybody want to be friends.
I think when you talk about Phoenix and Dallas, I love the acquisition of Kevin Durant in Phoenix. He fits great with them.
Yeah.
You put up points, but you let the other team put up points. So what I'm looking at is, although the rivalry is great, then you got to look at, you gave up 126 points, and then you scored 130 in the playoffs. That can't happen. So you're gonna have
Yeah.
to get stops, and you can't go that high every night. And you're gonna let guys score. So that is my problem with Phoenix, because the offense is gonna be great.
Yeah,
I do want to see a little more from Aiton at times.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a lot of mismatches. I just want to see exploit it more, but they give up way too many points from what I'm seeing so far. So we got to see how that plays out. You know, um, in the playoffs. And Dallas, I just think they don't have enough wing depth. And all their defense went somewhere else.
Yeah. Finney
You
Smith.
know,
Yeah.
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 so
It's crazy.
so we got to see. But the other game that I want to ask you guys about, as you know, Steph Curry, he came back Sunday,
Yep.
played the Lakers. Now as you know, the Lakers won, so that was 113 to 105.
Yep.
And Steph Curry, I mean, it was a modest game. He was very rusty. He had 27, 2 rebounds and 6 assists. He was okay. He's 8 of 20 from the field, and he was 5
Yeah.
of 13 from 3. He was trying to get it going and everything, but it's his first game
Yeah.
back. So did you guys catch that game?
Yeah. I felt like you could see him trying to, and I felt like they were trying to get him going too. But like, I don't think you have to worry about it if you're the Golden State Warriors. Like when it comes down to the playoffs, he's gonna be ready to go. You know what I mean?
100%.
So
Yeah.
even an off game, 27, 6 assists, I'll take that.
Right.
Sure.
And he's on my fantasy team.
Oh,
So,
okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
so I'm very happy to have him back. What do you guys think of the Lakers? And they're making a push. They're trying to get there, so what do you think? AJ, let's go to you. You're the Lakers guy.
Yeah, I mean, I to be honest, I don't know what to think because I feel like since the trade, we're going in the right direction. But I think it's gonna come and go on AD. So with Braun out right now,
Mhm.
I think AD is gonna have to show. And I almost think this is big for AD. I think if he doesn't help push us toward the playoffs this year, like you could maybe see him on another team in the summer. You know what I'm saying? So because great player, great talent, but just can't
Always
stay on the
hurt.
floor, and
Yeah. Always hurt.
that's not good in LA, So
No, they're giving him crap for it. Gino, what you think?
Yeah, man, I'm the same boat. It just like I said, LeBron being out, it just like I said, AD has to step up. And when he does play, he does step up. It just him being on the floor or not. I mean, you got to think about this though. There's a lot of back to back. So he's playing. Is he sitting out the next game? If AD and LeBron's out, who steps up to the plate? It's like before it was Westbrook. Westbrook's grown on. Even D'Angelo Russell's been hurt, so he hasn't even really played that much at all since he's been back, went to trade. So like, who's that other guy? So I don't know. I mean, like I said, if AD stays healthy and then LeBron comes in and they're in the playoffs, they might be able to make a run. But I just don't see anybody right now going to getting past Denver. I just don't. Denver's, and to me, is where the West is at right now. But you never know. Playoffs is a brand new season, but I think the Lakers have opportunity to go to the playoffs. So hopefully everybody will be healthy by that time, and then we'll see from there what happens.
So they're 12th right now, 31
Yeah.
wins, 34 losses.
Yeah.
But it's a tight race. Like if you kind of look,
Yeah.
from 13, to 6, they're
Yeah.
all like within 2 games of each other, 3
Yeah.
games of each other. It's very weird. Someone's got to go on a run here, and solidify their spot, whether it's
Yeah.
play in or just solidify your playoff spot.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
got to make a run, but they're 12th, so they're on the outside looking in currently, so we will see how that goes. But AD has been playing very well.
Oh yeah.
So I have to give him credit for that. I think I've given him a lot of crap over the years. And this will be the time I take,
man.
Right, to say he's doing really well. So, and he's trying, and he's giving you what he has,
Yeah.
right now. But let's take a break and actually let's go to Brian to get us an update on the injury report. We got some guys out on the East, we got some guys out on the West, and there's some important people on these teams, that are top 3, top 4 seeds. They have some guys out. So let's go to Brian. What's up, Brian?
Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing?
Hey, Brian.
Doing
How are
good.
Good.
All right, well, let's get started. We got a laundry list of guys, but we'll start at the top of everyone's mind, I'm sure, with LeBron. Dealing with what was recently reported as some type of tendon injury in his foot. Not really sure what they're talking about. If you watch the replay, though, and you look at what happened, I'm almost questioning whether or not he actually fractured his foot. He's been in a small boot, which is usually what you would put somebody in with a foot injury and a fracture. You could certainly do that too. They're saying 3 weeks optimistically. It might be longer, though, if it's a fracture. Now, if it's where I think it is, and this is all speculation on my part based on what I know and what I've learned over the years, but it's going to be at least 4 weeks, maybe longer. Probably won't need surgery, but when they say tendon, I think he basically fractured a piece of the bone by where the tendon attaches, and that's probably what they're talking about. So either way, it's not a good injury. It's going to be a while before we see him back. 3 weeks is very optimistic, though, so don't get your hopes up too much. And apparently, speaking of AD, you guys talked about him earlier. He is dealing with a foot issue as well, but he's been expected to suit up, and it's probably been playing through some foot stuff, so shouldn't affect his status at all. But so the Lakers kind of banged up. You got D'Angelo Russell, who's been out. Apparently, there's no timetable for his return, dealing with an ankle sprain. So that's the other thing. Lakers trying to make a playoff push here, but they got a couple of big players banged up, so not good for the home stretch here. And I'm just going to go down the list here in random order. If you guys have any other athletes, please let me know. But the Knicks are without Jalen Brunson for the second game tonight against Charlotte. No big deal. Sounds like they're just nursing some soreness in his foot. Doesn't sound like it's anything serious. Probably just give him a chance to rest. The Bucks are without Drew Holiday and Giannis. Neck and knee issues. Soreness is what they're reporting, and you're going to see a lot of that right now as we head kind of into the playoff scene here. They might not list it as load management. Instead, you'll probably see it listed as sore or soreness. So don't get too worried if you see guys popping up on the injury list or not suiting up for a particular game, depending on who the opponent is. It really just comes down to giving guys rest and getting them ready for the playoff push. So not unusual. Utah, Jordan Clarkson is dealing with a finger sprain. Not sure the extent of the injury. Questionable about whether he'll return. If he does, he'll probably have it taped and splinted up, which may limit some of his ability to handle. I'm not sure if it's a shooting hand or not, so that could factor in. Colin Sexton's dealing with a hamstring issue, so he's going to be out until at least mid-March, they're saying. So we'll see how whether or not he's actually back on the court by then. Speaking of hamstring issues, Zion Williamson finds himself out again. Unfortunately, this guy just cannot stay healthy. If it's not his knee, it's his hamstring now. And they're saying that they're uncertain if he'll even be available come mid-March. So that's not good with his injury history. We've seen that it's usually later that he comes back rather than sooner. And Larry Nance Jr. is also dealing with an ankle issue. Apparently, he's got a pretty significant sprain. He's not even going to be doing anything for at least 2 weeks, they're saying, which is pretty standard care for a low ankle sprain. So I don't really see him jumping back on the court anytime before the end of March. Lonzo and LaMelo Ball brothers are both out of action, likely for this season. Melo had ankle surgery just the other day, fractured his fibula on a very innocent-looking play earlier this week or last week, I think. And they're done for the year, unfortunately. Guess they'll be vacationing together. Ben Simmons, no surprise here. He finds himself not playing again. Apparently, he's got knee soreness and that back soreness again. he's out indefinitely. And if ever there was an accurate injury report, that's probably it. Everything he does seems to be indefinite. So we might not see him anytime soon. Celtics are dealing with some players who've got a little bit of soreness and stuff going on. Jason Tatum has a little knee contusion. Might not dress Wednesday against the Trailblazers, but we'll probably see him suit up. And then I feel like we were at the same point with Robert Williams last year that we are now this year. As we come down to the home stretch, he's out of action for a few weeks. Last year he had knee surgery and then made it back for the playoff push, was very important. I expect we'll see the same thing this year. He's got a hamstring strain, so they're sitting him down for about 10 days or so, but I think he'll be ready come the playoff push, and we should see him be helpful again this year.
Thanks,
stuff. That's about it for now. I don't know if you guys have any other ones that you were thinking about or anybody else.
But hey, Brian, quick question real quick.
Noticeable ones. Yeah.
Hey, Brian, I have a question for you real quick before you get off. What's going on? Like, it just seems like the same players over and over again. Do you think it has to do anything with the trainers for the team, or they're not healing right? I mean, it's just so many stories about why it's the same players over and over again being hurt and not playing the game of basketball.
Well, I think in basketball particularly, you get a lot of guys that play just a ton of minutes, especially if they're superstars or starters on the team. And you know, with the sometimes playing back-to-back games or games every other day, it takes a toll physically, and you get a lot of these chronic kind of overuse injuries that pop up from time to time. And when you have a big star who you're paying a ton of money to, they're going to definitely err on the side of caution, especially if they've got a playoff seed locked up and there's no need for them to really push it this time of year. So, you know, guys like Tatum, you know, guys like Brunson, you know, on the Knicks are playing well right now. They're making a big playoff push. LeBron, you know, obviously him going down was a little bit more of an acute injury, but Giannis, you know, Holiday, those guys, they're just kind of getting themselves primed and ready for the playoff push. At this time of year, it's really hard to kind of gauge the severity, but usually when you see things like soreness on the injury report, don't look too much into it. That's usually probably all it is, nothing more serious, and they're just getting ready for the playoff push. So, but, you know, it literally comes down to minutes and, you know, overload and chronic things that kind of pop up in basketball more so than any other sport.
100%. Thank you so much, Brian, for the injury report.
Yeah, my pleasure.
Thanks, Brian.
All right.
Thanks, Brian. Have a night.
Underdog Fantasy is here to save your post-fantasy football season blues. The easiest place to play and win with the Underdog Fantasy app. Get up to 20 times your money in a single night with our Pick'em contests. Grab some insurance when setting your picks and win even when one pick fails. Go online now and use the promo code TSS to double your deposit up to $100. Sit gingerbread, good girl.
All right, guys. So we are back. So a little later, coming up, we will have AJ come through with the fantasy report. You know, see the right picks of the night and everything. So that'll be coming up in a little bit. But I did want to ask you guys. So if we look at last couple of days, Sunday and Monday, Boston is on a skid. They are on a 3-game losing streak, and 5-5. Sometimes I look at Boston and I am just like, they are unserious. You know, like, I don't think that they're serious. Like, there's no way that you could be serious with what they're putting out there on the floor right now. You know, Tatum, he's in the MVP race. I don't think he's gonna get it, you know, and I don't think he should, you know. But it seems that he, specifically with him, he makes the game hard. You know, he just makes it hard. He's probably one of the more frustrating top 10 players in the league, because why are you shooting, you know, 13 threes, and, you know, he shoots 17 threes, 17 threes for a wing. You know, he's shooting them, and then it's like you make 6 of them. Yeah, but it's like you're 10 or 12 from the free throw. That's pretty good, you know, but then 12 of 30 from the field. You know, what are we doing? You know, I just feel like he's making it hard on himself and everyone else. You know, it's like you're chucking up threes, you're bailing out everyone. You have never been a great 3-point shooter, you know, but like, why are you just chucking it up? You know, like he's completely just negated his floater game. That's just gone. You know, I think he just said that was for the first month. I'm done. You know, I'm just gonna wing it from here, you know. And it just seems like, you know, they're just, you know, they're very unserious sometimes, you know, and Joe with his rotations, I just don't understand. You know, sometimes Marcus Smart closing the game, and then it's like it's clear he probably shouldn't because you have Brogdon who's just ready to go and always plays, you know, smart, you know, no pun intended. But you know, what's going on? What do you guys think? What's going on with Boston? You know, AJ, talk to me.
I mean, those are some great points I think you spoke on. But I have to tell you, it was a great game Sunday. That game, man, it was amazing. Like I think did it go 3 overtimes or did it go 2?
It went 2.
2 overtimes. Okay, yeah. So and you're right, but I think that's today's game, you know, shooting all these damn threes. And it's like I think if he focused more on getting to the basket more, you know, Jalen does that, and Jalen will shoot threes too. He'll shoot, you know. So I just think it's they're still growing as a team, but I definitely think they're gonna be. I think when it comes to playoff time, they'll have it figured out, and they'll be ready to go. But it is a little disappointing that they don't play as consistent as they should, you know, with what they have, because they have a great team, you know.
100%. Gino, talk to me. What's up with Boston?
Yeah, I mean, you know, the thing is you know, they were there last year, so you know, and it's like, okay, we made it last year, we can make it again, but no, every year is different. And like I said, made a good point with Tatum, because like I said, I follow him a lot, especially in the fantasy point. And like I said, that fadeaway, he was destroying everybody at the beginning of the year. You remember how they were playing at the beginning of the year? It was amazing to watch them play. Amazing. Their defense, I think they were ranked number 1 offense, number 1 or number 2 defense at the beginning of the year. They were destroying the East. Like, they were up huge. And now, you know, they're flip-flopping with Milwaukee for first and second right now. You know, Philly's right behind them. So, you know, with Boston, it's just like, what are you going to get this night? You know, one night it's Tatum, one night it's Brown. And like you said, Brogdon, and also you got to think about Derek White. Derek White's been a big asset for them, just getting them from San Antonio, and he's been balling too. But like I said, if Tatum's off, the whole team is off.
Hey man, you know who was balling that game, bro? Horford.
Horford was balling. Yeah,
Horford couldn't damn miss, man. Every time he shot, bro, I was like, yeah. And he got a great look for that last game.
20 points. 20 points. He had 20 points, 14 rebounds, 6
14 rebounds.
How many years he been in the league now? Like, I mean, still getting
he gets it done. But that's the thing 14, with him, 15. Though. Yeah, he's been there a minute. Oh no, that's okay. No, it just that was a good point though. But like I said, Horford plays. But like the thing with Horford, you know, if you have a back-to-back, Horford ain't playing both games. You know,
yeah.
And you know, so that's what it is with the NBA. You know, a lot of these players now, and Brian brought it up a little bit too with the minutes. You know, it's like, you know, if you have a star player playing one game, the next game is sitting out. Like, it's like with Shea. They already said he's playing today, he's out tomorrow. So, you know, and it's like, so it's all about minutes, especially this time of the year. You know, they've been playing since November, and, you know, they're tired, and, you know, they're getting ready for the playoffs. So, like I said, it's Boston, Philly, Milwaukee. The only other team I could see that could even try to fit in there is Miami, but I just it's going to be them 3 going to the Eastern Conference Finals, and then whoever wins out of that, that's where it's going to go. But if Boston can play how they played last year and again this year, play step up, I think Boston will be there again. So
yeah, I mean, you know, I'm a Boston Celtics fan, you know, but I am very realistic when it comes to this stuff. And I'll tell you, I just don't see it. I just don't see how they're going to get back, because they are so unserious with how they play this game. You know, the amount of threes, this is the 3-point shooting league. Absolutely. You can make the 3. Absolutely. But if it's going to take you 17 tries for one person and you're not even hitting half, I think you need to find something else, you know. And they're going to go as Tatum goes. It's not as Brown goes. It's as Tatum goes,
Yep.
And Tatum has got to get serious.
Yep.
He's got to stop bailing out defenses. Every play he bails out defenses. If when he chucks that three, I know people are like, oh, thank you, because I guess he doesn't understand with his length. You're going to be able to float over like the majority of the league.
Yeah.
But I guess you don't care about the easy 2 points,
Yeah,
So
that's the thing with him too. Yeah, that's
Yep.
the thing with him. I've seen him. Like he goes to the hole, ain't nobody can stop him.
Nah.
You're either gonna get fouled, and he goes to the free throw line how many times a game? I mean, he's like the top 5 or top 6 in the league. It just
Yep.
like I said, that 3-point is deadly. It's just either you're on or you win by the 3, or you die by the 3, and that's how it is. It's crazy.
that is how it is, and I think they're going to die, honestly.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
it just is what it is. But
Yeah.
we'll see, and then we'll bring it right back. But coming up right now, AJ, you ready for the fantasy? What you got for me, man?
I'm ready. So all right. So welcome to the Fantasy Fast Break. So with fantasy right now in basketball, most leagues could be in the playoffs right now. In the league that me and Gino compete in, we start next week. So it's not going to be too much trading you can do right now. So I kind of just want to talk about some guys that could be on the waiver wire that you should take a look at if they are still there. So the first person I want to talk about is Tyus Jones. So obviously with Ja out, he's going to be a nice fill-in. I was a little late to try to pick him up. Did you pick him up, Gino?
I did. I did, sir.
Anyway, so he picked him up before. So moving on to my next person on that same team, his name is Xavier Tillman. So and he's young, but like everyone's gonna have to help out on the offense, and also Steven Adams is out. So this gives this young man a lot. He's gonna get a lot of playing time. So if he's there, I will definitely look to pick him up. Next up on my list is Tari Eason from Houston. This is a very good young guy too. Like he doubles a lot. So like and I think where we're at in the fantasy playoffs for basketball, like when you're grabbing these guys off the waiver, it's not going to necessarily be for they're not number ones, but they can help you with rebounding or threes. Like we do a 9-category league, so they can help you with all that. So, and then my next guy, Dennis Smith Jr. So with LaMelo being out, Dennis Smith is still coming off of the bench, but he's closing the games and he's playing very good right now. So if he's available on your wire, I would look to get him. Next up, Emmanuel Quickly.
Yes.
This dude is a stud. He's a stud.
He went off last night, man.
And he, against the Celtics, he balled out. Of course, when Brunson comes back, that is going to take away a little bit of his time, but I think they could slot them two right next to each other. So if he's available, definitely go to pick him up. And then my last guy is a big for Utah. His name is Walker Kessler. And he is doubling right now. So if you need rebounds, you need some scoring, he even shoots a 3. If you need that, he's going to be your guy. Nat, did you have any people that you were looking at in your fantasy league?
Well, you hit the nail right on the head with Tyus. I believe in my league, he's already gone. I have a pretty deep team, but I like Markelle Fultz as well. He's a guy, if you need guard help, Markelle Fultz says he's been playing pretty decent, this year. He has some really good games. Sometimes he's off, but I think he's still a really solid pickup and a really good guy to have off of your bench. So I would probably say that. And then Kessler in Utah, he's been coming on, I I think that Utah has found one in Kessler.
Yep.
So he's day to day right now, but I think that that's a
He's out
great pickup
tonight.
if you need
Yeah.
big help.
Yeah.
So,
All right, Gino, did I miss anybody? Is it anybody you looking at?
No, you said, yeah, my main guy was Quickly, man. Like I said, he's another level, man. I know he was just been held back, and then now he's got a little bit of time to shine because of Brunson. Like you said, they could put them two together. I mean, I had Dennis Smith as soon as Ball got hurt. I had him. He just been, he does good for you, but he's he puts up pretty good numbers. But like I said, I just picked up Tyus Jones, and he went off last game, and we'll see how far he goes for everything. Like I said, these are fill-ins, man. Playoffs are coming around the corner. So if you got any injuries, these are the guys to get right now. Because I mean, and it's always hard to find a big man that's over on the waiver wire because those guys do it all. They usually get blocks, rebounds, field goal percentage, free throws are all right, steals, and everything else. So, but yeah, you nailed it, man. Those were the top picks of the week that I saw. So yeah, man, good job.
out
on
of curiosity, what's you guys' record in the league?
Gino's
that. I'm the
dominant.
only one in my I'm the only one that clinched the playoffs this week. So I'm breeze mode because no matter what my record is this week, next week I get a first round bye, so I don't have anything to worry about for 2 weeks. So yeah, I'm good.
What's your record for the season? What's the regular season record?
Oh, the regular season, I'm like 107 and some change. I think I had like 60 or 70 losses or something like that. So
Yeah.
we do 9 category a week. We play other people. So that's what my record is right now. I think I'm the only one that has 100 wins right now. So
Nice.
but yeah,
I'm at 91. I believe I'm like 91-7. So in this league, the top 3 teams are in that same division. So it's pretty crazy. But the way it breaks down, like I'm like in 5th or 6th,
So Nat, I had to bring this up before you came on. But so last week I offered, I gave him OG Ogunobi, who I have, and I also offered AJ John Morant. Nah, man, the numbers aren't there. I'm like, okay, well, look at the rankings, and everything else, talking about fantasy. And then all of a sudden, he denied the trade with me. He wanted Siakam instead. And here we are with Ja now. So I just had to rub that in a little bit, Nat. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
That's messed up, man. You didn't have to rub that in because I'm hurting right now.
Buddy.
Yeah.
Listen, so my league is interesting because like how it's been going is like week to week. So you play one person per week, so I'm 15-4 and I'm 2nd in the league right now. So, when I picked, I think 17th in my league, and you know who was there at number 17? Steph Curry. I couldn't believe it.
Wow.
I know, guys. I
That's
know.
crazy.
Yeah, my best player. Yeah, my best player, surprisingly, is, and I got him in the 5th round. Is Shea. He's been destroying it for me. And who else has been a big pickup for me was Markkanen from Utah.
Yeah,
Huge.
No one's seen that.
So yeah,
so that I think for Gino, that was amazing for him because he basically got 2. His guys are 1st round talent, with the numbers they're putting up. So that was pretty good.
I got it. No, I appreciate it. Thank you for the fantasy update, guys.
Yeah, all right. So we'll talk next week about that. We're on to our next commercial break.
Jazz, Sportsbook, Casino, and Racebook, the world's best resource for all-purpose online wagering. For over 20 years, Jazz has provided the best and quickest payouts in sports and entertainment wagers. Live sports betting, covering all the major sports leagues, and even into the new and exciting world of esports. Down the stretch you'll come, with Jazz's online horse wagering. Get paid when you play with Jazz's fun and exciting online casino games. Go online now and use the promo code TSS for our new members deals. Jazz Sportsbook, Casino, and Racebook, the world's best resource for online wagering.
All right, guys. All right, so we got to talk about this. Who's your MVP so far this season?
Oh man,
just name it out there.
Me or AJ?
Go ahead, G.
Go ahead, Gino.
Okay.
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah. At the beginning of the season, and I'm gonna be honest with you, I was going with Tatum and Joker. I'm not gonna lie to you. But the way he's been playing lately, I'm right now. I'm Embiid, man. I'm just Embiid all the way. I saw him play a couple times, and he's been playing, and it's not been sitting out or playing any oh my toe hurt or anything like that. He's been playing, and when he plays, man, it just he's playing at another level. He played like that last year, didn't get any recognition for it. This year, I think he's got the recognition. I think he's up there for the MVP. I really do. So,
AJ.
I'm still leaning towards Jokic. Like I feel like he has his team like number one in the West. So it's like for me that's enough. And second, I would have Embiid too, because Embiid's a baller. I wonder if he's gonna miss any time with any injuries. And I think if he doesn't, I think that's like my 1A and 1B.
So I feel that I feel bad for Joel Embiid because he is in a world where he can never escape Jokic. He'll never escape Joker because no matter how good these numbers are for Joel, he just does not beat out what Joker has done. Now let's call it out there. Joel Embiid, 33 points this season. He's shooting 53% from the field. 10 rebounds, 4 assists. Those are fantastic numbers.
Amazing.
So like when you even just say it, I'm like, Jesus Christ, I wish that I had that on my team. And I'm a big Joel Embiid fan because I just love how he approaches the game. And I think he gets a lot of flack, sometimes, when the least amount of games, he's played is 31, and that's 2016, and then everything else has been like at least 50, I think he's missed a season possibly, if I'm not mistaken, but he was injured. I don't think so. 16, 17. No. So the least amount of games he's played is 31. But other than that, he's played 50, 63, 64, 68, 51. And, it just keeps going. And he's playing, this year. He's actually out there. And he looks great. He looks absolutely great. He looks confident. He's assertive. He's on the defensive end, on the offensive end. He is literally like driving the Philadelphia 76ers. But then you have this guy in Denver, and you talk about 24 points, 63% from the field, 40% from 3, 12 rebounds, 10 assists.
It's ridiculous.
Triple-double. It's crazy. For a center.
For a center.
That's what we have to be honest about. For a center, let's be honest. Those are fantastic numbers. Like it's unheard of. So lot of talk about if Joker deserves this MVP, Joker this, Joker that. He does, guys. Let it go. He does. That is a 7-footer. Look how he approaches the game. He's not stat padding. He's giving the game what it needs. He's driving his team, to these wins and playing the right way. Joker is going to be the 3-time MVP, because what he's doing is just remarkable. That is a center averaging a triple-double.
Nuts.
There is nothing you can do about it. Joel is just in the wrong time frame because he plays at the same time with, Joker. And it's unfortunate. I wish there could be 2 MVPs because I feel there's a case for both of them to maybe just split it for the last 2 seasons, but there's nothing you can do about it, and even talking about Giannis. So the top 4, MVP candidates, you got Joker, Joel, you got Giannis, and you got Jason Tatum. I think right now it's floating between Jason Tatum and Luka. But when you talk about Giannis, even he's averaging 32 points. He's averaging 32. What is it?
He definitely deserves to be in the conversation. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean,
they're number.
So actually, with Giannis, he's averaging 31. He's on 54%. I'll give him that because it's 53.9. 28% from three. It's terrible, but 12 rebounds, 5 assists. Those are fantastic numbers too. I mean, if I wanted to nitpick, I say he's shooting 28% from three. If I wanted to nitpick a little bit, but you can make a case, for all of these guys, but I think the odd man out will be Jason Tatum, coming in at 30 points this season, 46% from the field, 35% from three, 9 rebounds, 5 assists. Great numbers, but when you guys hear it though, it just doesn't sound like Joker. It doesn't sound like Joker.
It's funny you said that. It's awesome. It's crazy.
And I just feel like he hasn't been as consistent as Jokic, in these last few weeks, at least. The numbers are there, but that's part of the MVP thing too. I think you have to look at like what you're doing for your team.
It's
also, what you're doing.
It's also about the wins too. It's about what you're doing for your team. So good points on Joker. I'm still going with Embiid. So.
I'm not mad at you, Gino. I think that the thing about Embiid, he deserves the recognition. So right now in the East, right? So a lot of talk about Philly this year. What are they going to do? First of all, Harden's having a fantastic season. No one wants to say it. I'm going to say it.
Yes, he is.
Harden looks great. Stop talking about him, people. He's looking fantastic. But if you look at the standings, so you got Milwaukee now, they are in sole first place, 46 wins, 18 losses. They are right there. They have the number one spot, and they are 3 games up on Boston because Boston is unserious right now, coming in at number 2 with 45 wins, 21 losses. So they are 3 games back now of the first seed, which they've had all season. Then you got Philly right behind them, 42 wins, 22 losses. So this is a tight race right now with 1, 2, and 3. When it's all said and done and the playoffs start, how do you guys think the seeding is going to shake up? And I'm going to go to Gino. How do you think that's going to shake up?
I mean, right now, Milwaukee this is funny, man. Yesterday, my son, we talked about, we talk about basketball all the time, but, we were talking about Chris Middleton coming back. And I think my son said they were 19-4 since Chris Middleton has come back. 19-4. So Milwaukee right now, if they stay healthy, I think they take the number one seed. Philly, Boston is going to be in that scenario with 2 and 3. So right now I'm just saying Milwaukee. I mean, they're just playing really good ball. I think they've gotten 1 loss out of the last 9 games. Like you said earlier, the Knicks have been on a 9-game winning streak, but I don't think they're going to do anything. So I'm just saying right now Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee's going to get that number 1 seed. And it depends who they play in the first round. Who they're going to play. But I just don't see, like you said, Philly, Boston, and Milwaukee. That's top 3 right there. That's who's going to be in the Eastern Conference Finals by far. So,
all right. Well, BJ,
I'm on that same page. I feel like Milwaukee's going to keep the number 1 seed, and I think Boston will come in at 2nd, and I think Philly will be right there at 3rd. But we all know with the playoffs, it's about matchups. So depending on who get what, you know what I'm saying? It could be some. And this is funny. I was looking at the just the Eastern Conference, like all the people, like all the records and stuff. When have we seen a Eastern Conference with like 8 teams over 500? You know what I'm saying? Like well over 500. It's crazy because the East used to be garbage. You know what I'm saying? Like it used to be garbage. Like it'd be 1 or 2 teams, and then the rest, like people were making the playoffs with losing records. You know what I mean? So the East, I feel like the East, like the Knicks, do I think they can knock off a Milwaukee or a Boston? No, but I do think they're gonna play you. You know what I'm saying? Like they're gonna bring it. So
can they knock off a Cleveland?
I definitely think they can knock off a Cleveland. I'm not drinking the Cleveland Kool-Aid yet. They're a very good team, but I'm not drinking the Cleveland Kool-Aid yet.
That's kind of how I see it going. actually. I think that if it stays as is and 4 plays 5, 4 is Cleveland, 5 is New York. I think New York has a great chance of
Yep.
actually winning that series.
Yep.
The way that they're playing, I think that they're hungry,
Yeah.
very consistent. Uh, I didn't understand it, but everyone wanted to get rid of Julius Randle, and I'm
Yeah.
like, I'll take him.
Me
Like
too.
he's
He
not
is
a he's
balling.
not a he's not a number one guy, but he is a guy that he can be like your second or third kind of option, and he plays the best like that. So I'm looking at, New York, that they're gonna upset someone, you know. Um it could be the unserious Boston Celtics, Um but yeah, so with that being said, I do think it stays Milwaukee, Boston, Philly, so yeah. We're gonna wrap this up, guys, and head into the last segment. Gino, why don't you take us away?
Okay. Well, first of all, I'm a Magic fan, so I just want to give a big shout out to my buddy 3D. He's gonna be inducted to the Hall of Fame for the Magic
No.
on Thursday, March 23rd against the Knicks. So big ups to 3D for making the Hall of Fame. We got some interesting games coming up this week. A lot of the games that are
Go ahead, Gino.
hello,
Go
y'all.
into the picks of the week, man.
Hey, yeah. So yeah, yep. So we have a lot of games going on the rest of the week. That are just non-factor games like your Detroit's, your Minnesotas, your Indianas. I did catch a couple games that are going to be going on tomorrow. We have like on ESPN they have Dallas and New Orleans, and then they have like Toronto and the Clippers. All those guys are in the playoff spot right now. They're heading for whatever seed they can for the playoffs, either for the to get into the tournament, or just to have like a higher seed. So, but thoughts on with me, my team that I think that was a big pickup for the player for the for the trade was the Clippers picking up Westbrook. Do you think that the Clippers are better and they can go a little bit farther with Westbrook in that lineup, or does it harm them with George and Leonard, being the main focus over there? Nat, what do you think about Westbrook getting over there and moving forward with
So I
with
love
the
the
Clippers?
pickup. I love the
Uh-huh.
pickup. It makes complete sense for the Clippers. The issue is Ty Lue. The
Yes.
issue that I see is Ty Lue. That is to me the problem with the Clippers. His rotations, they don't make sense. He takes Westbrook out. If you look at the losses that they've had since Russell has been there, um, a lot of it, if you could see, Russell has played very well, and he's given them a playmaker. He's given them exactly what they need. Paul George is not the best playmaker, and I think that it's about time that we admit that he's not a point guard. He's not a point forward.
No.
You got to let him play his game and take that ball out of his hands, and they got to let Russell set the plays up. They got to let him do what he does because he can help. You surrounded him with shooters. Let him shoot. Let them shoot. Let him get those guys open, and score. The problem is he gets taken out when he's doing great, and then what? And then all of a sudden the other team scores 6-7 points, and then they're losing, and then they put it on Westbrook. It's really not Westbrook. It's Ty Lue. What's going on
Yeah.
is Ty Lue. So they're gonna go as Ty Lue goes. When Ty Lue understands those rotations, I really think the Clippers can really upset someone that you did not
Yeah.
think. So that's what I think of the Clippers. What about you, AJ?
Yeah.
I definitely like the pickup, but I don't think it helps them. I think the way these guys play, Paul and my guy, I can't even
Leonard.
think of his name, the Claw,
Leonard.
yeah, Leonard.
Yeah, Kawhi. Yeah.
He just he's not there all the time, and I really think that messes up the continuity of the team. So they'll be a tough out for sure because Kawhi is a baller, and and it's funny you said that, like with George not being a point forward. I just read an article recently where he admitted to where he's like, I'm not a one. Well, not the point guard, but he just admitted I'm not a one.
Right.
I'm the piece. And I think too, when Westbrook can realize that too, like he's, Westbrook is a dog and he's gonna give you 100% when he
Yeah.
plays, but he just has to realize, on certain teams he just has to fit in. And I think it was definitely, I mean, you bring in someone like Westbrook, people bang on him, but if I know any player in the league gonna give me 100%, it's gonna be Westbrook. You take the good and the bad.
Absolutely.
You take the good and the bad with that, but I'm taking the good and the bad with it. You know what I'm saying? So
100%.
yeah,
100%. Again, I think the Clippers can definitely make a run for it. It's just Ty Lue just got to get it together. So listen, I also want to look at I know you brought up some games, Gino,
Yeah.
but Denver is playing Chicago. The
Hmm.
Clippers in Toronto. The Clippers absolutely have to win that game, tomorrow,
Yep.
because they are right now a game over
Yeah.
500. They got to
Yep.
go on a streak if they want to
Yep.
get their place in the playoffs.
Yeah. Yeah.
So they definitely gotta, they gotta come out swinging, and they gotta get some
Yeah.
consistency, and even, Boston being on that 3-game skid, they gotta
Yeah.
get some consistency as well. So they're playing Portland tomorrow. So
Yeah.
what do you think of the Cleveland Miami game, Gino, for tomorrow?
Yeah. That yeah, I like the game. It's just like this. It's like in Miami is like, I got Butler in we all do fantasy. I got Butler in fantasy, and it just like, it's like he's playing one game, he's out one game, he's playing one game. It was, I think it was a great pickup for Kevin Love going there, but he's hurt now. So Miami, they got a great team. I like Cleveland. Like I said, I don't like what AJ said earlier. I don't think they can get to that next level yet. They're still young, um, and they got a great team over there. I like Mitchell going there, but that Cleveland Miami game, it can go both ways, and it depends who's all playing. Is Mitchell going to sit out? Is Mobley sitting out? Is Butler sitting out? Lowry's still out. I just looked today. I used to have Lowry in fantasy. He's been out for a month. I mean, Tyler Hero he got paid all that money, and what has he done? Like I mean, he's done good, but he's like, what has he done? I like Bam. Bam's been playing good, but I just don't see them beating like Cleveland, Miami. Those are my like number 4 and 5. Like I said, I don't see them beating the Milwaukee's, the Boston's, and everything else. So
let's talk about the elephant in the room real quick with Miami. I think it's time for Pat Riley to step down. I mean, I feel like they haven't made
yeah,
any significant moves. Getting Kevin Love was nice, but I mean, this ain't Kevin Love
yeah,
from 10 years ago. Like they
yeah,
haven't made moves to compete to win a
mm,
championship. They have a great
yeah,
nucleus, but they just don't
yeah,
have. And I love, Pat Riley came from the Lakers, so I got some love for Pat,
yeah,
but Pat like 100 now. You know what I'm saying? Like it's time to it's time for some new a new direction, because I
yeah,
just feel like they haven't tried to make
yeah,
their team better, So that's my take.
Yeah, I mean, I'll say this quick point, before we wrap up and everything.
mm,
Well, the thing about Miami, I love Pat Riley.
yeah,
I'm not sure what the thought process is, with the
yeah,
Miami Heat the last couple of seasons. What they have is not going to get them to a finals.
yeah,
So, Jimmy, I think is 33. Bam is pretty good, but he's not going to be your
yeah,
go-to guy. He's going to be a complement to an actual superstar.
Mhm.
So they're
yeah,
going to be stuck in limbo until they add a piece that can actually move the needle. And
yeah,
one thing they have to look at is there a future where it makes sense to keep Tyler Hero and Duncan and all those, or do you package those guys up to get someone that really can like make a difference, or do you
yep,
move on from Jimmy and keep Bam?
yeah,
That's the stuff that they're going to have to think about going forward. And so, we'll see what Miami does, so
yep,
um I appreciate everybody, for tuning in. This is our first episode of the 3P podcast. Please subscribe please subscribe to the channel. We're going to have, more conversation, more basketball news, and, we're just getting started, you all. So my name is Nat. You can follow me on Twitter. So it's Nat_the_GM, Nat the GM on Twitter. AJ, how can people follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Arthur Johnson. That's IARTHURJOHNSON.
Awesome. Gino, where can people find you?
Yep, find me on Twitter, Magic Fan. That would be capital M, lowercase the rest, capital F, AN, and the 1624. So Magic Fan 1624. Yeah, go Magic.
Awesome. All right. Thank you guys. And we will catch you next Tuesday, 9 p.m. All right. Later, guys.